Hello everybody, and welcome to the first of many tutorials from NWUGC.com, Neverwinter User Generated Content.com. So here you can see I am logged in. We're just going to take a look at the Foundry toolset in general, overview, nothing specific, just to give you an idea of what you get yourself into. You can see here I have my character that's used just in the Foundry. With this character, it doesn't take away from your existing character or character slots that you have on your main account for playing. So let's go ahead and enter the Foundry. There we go. And we're just going to just take a look at quests that I had done here previously. But first, before we get into that, let's just have a look at the Foundry. The first screen you see here. On the left panel here is all your campaigns or your individual quests. And here you can create a new quest, new campaign. You can delete the one that's highlighted, or you can buy extra slots that's required if you want to if you run out of space. And over here on the right hand side, you can see that you can have the name of the quest, and there's three tabs: the main tab, or map, and reviews. And you can edit. This button here will take you to edit the full quest itself, or if you want to duplicate the quest, you can press that button there. So in this here is it shows you your main description, your individual ID, and the last time that you had published it for use. Here it shows you your map that you're using and any reviews that you've had. So let's jump in here and have a look, see what we got going on. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's slow. Again, depending upon, I would imagine how many people are using it. So the server load. And here we go. Perfect. All right, so here you can see exactly what you're working with. This is the first screen that you'll see when you log in. Along the top here, you'll see 6 tabs. Quest, story, maps, dialogue trees, costumes, and items. And each one of them has a specific function and relation to your quest. And in the background you can hear that your character is actually logged in, and all of the titles and levels and all the rest of that, it automatically takes care of that for you. So up here, let's just start along with the top. You got your file menu. You can create a new map from here, a new costume or a new item, and it's basically the same as going over one of these other tabs and just creating a new one there. You can play the complete quest from the beginning of the story by clicking there. You can publish it up onto the servers for public use, or you can close the project and start a new one, or you can exit out of the editor itself. Here, the normal edit functions. Respect. You can respect your current character to any one of these 4 classes, and either level 1 or level 10. Now myself, when I make a quest, I usually start off with level 1 because by the time I'm finished with the quest, the character is normally like level 35 because I'm play testing it so much. And then what I do is I just delete that character and create a new one, and away I go again. In the help menus, you can select report a bug, or you can read the Foundry terms of use. I would go ahead and read this to make sure that you're understanding exactly what they're offering and what you're accountable for. And then when you're ready to save your quest as you're working along it, save often. That's my #1 recommendation. Save often. So while you're working on it, or you're doing any major changes, make sure you save it off. Publish, you can publish the current project up onto the servers for people to use. And any problems, they're not necessarily errors, but things that you need to take care of before you can publish that quest for use. It'll list them here, and it'll list them also here. All right, so the first tab we have is quest. And here you can see it gives you quest overview. So whatever the name of the quest is, you put that in there. A general description of your quest. This will be what the people read first when they look at it in a Foundry. All right, so what I do is I normally give a general overview of what the quest is about, like a little story, and then any notes that I have in particular about the quest. And then as I go through and I update the quests, I put those in there as well. I'm hoping that they're going to provide us with the means of giving tags to the quest. Tags, I mean, like whether it's an adventure, whether it's heavy combat, whether it's heavy lore, or if it's mixture of both. If it's funny, if it's well, you get the general idea. And then hopefully that'll be included with the description or on the Foundry page when you're looking for a specific type of quest, depending upon your mood or the time that you have to play it. So in here you can also pick the language that you want, and any private notes. Here is the notes that you put in that nobody else can read except for you. It's not published out for public consumption. It's just for you to, like a to-do list. That's what you'll put in there, if you want to put anything in there. And like I said previously, in here is a task list. Anything that you have that you need to take care of before you can publish. Any problems, any errors, any pieces of information that you did not provide yet. It'll ask you to, it'll give you a list here of what you have to do first or next. All right, over here is just a picture of your first map. My first map in this particular quest takes place in the Protector's Enclave. Yes. And again, this is the individual ID and the name of the quest, and I submitted it for featuring on that date. And if I want to withdraw that request, I just click that button there. Under here gives you your reviews, and got 3 ratings so far with a total of 3.3. I'm not sure if this is correct yet. I know they were having some issues with it, but they're still working on that. And it shows you how many 5 stars you got, 4, 3, 2s, and 1s, any tips that you received, and the comments themselves, if the comments were provided. And that is the Quest tab. The next tab is the Story tab, and in here is basically the layout of your complete quest, right from the quest start to the quest end. And we'll go into specific details on what all these here are, the objective libraries, and the maps and all the rest of that. This is, again, just an overview. So you got your first map that you end up on to start the quest, who you got to talk to, and it's in sequential order. Okay, so and then it goes when you want to change maps for the quest. It changes the map. Over here you add the maps. Again, what you have to do in that map. Map transition again, another map. What you have to do in that map. And when you're finished up the quest, in my particular case, I wanted to return to the people that gave me the quest and progress the quest further that way. I hand the quest in, and then the actual reward chest, you can pick in here where you want it to be. And they're predefined locations. If you're using a cryptic map, like outside of your own maps, they're predefined, so you select it there, and the quest ends. Simple as that. Up here on the button, you can play the quest from the beginning. Oh, one note I should mention is that as you select these tabs, the menu selections up top here will change. Just so you're aware of that. Okay? So for this particular case story, it's basically the same as this button here. We can play from the beginning of the story. All right, and over here are the different objectives, and each one of them, again, we'll go through those in detail. You select from there, drag it over here, and then you fill out the dialogues. They're really easy to use. It's fun, time-consuming. And here are the maps. Okay, on the map tab on the left-hand pane here, it shows you your maps that you have, and a drop-down shows you all the maps that you've created. Okay, you can't change any details in the cryptic maps, only the ones that you use. Like I'm talking like Protector's Enclave, you can't change any details in there. I use this predefined map in the courtyard. This is one of their maps. I just added the characters and enemy and different objects that you can manipulate. I put that all in there, but you can't actually put doors in there to buildings. There's no doors to choose from to change the properties on the map. You have to add everything in there. But for like the Protector's Enclave, you cannot you can't add any monsters, you cannot add any new NPCs, stuff like that. That's what I mean. All right, and then down here you can see a map that I created, underground map, and shows you what it looks like there. It looks like pretty busy in there, and it is. But as you get working with it and you start working on the little details, it actually is not so bad. And if you want to create a new map, again, click that there. If you want to rename the current map that you have, you just click on that tab. You can zoom in and out. I've been using the mouse itself. If you have the mouse pointer on the map itself, center mouse button, you can drag it around. If you're outside of the map, you can mouse in and out, or on the map, right? If you use the left mouse button outside of the map, you can drag it around. But if you're in the map, you cannot, because it's used for selection. So that's why you use the middle mouse button to move the map around. Scroll in with your mouse wheel, middle button, so on and so forth. All right. The next button here is if you want to work on the detail mode, that shows you every piece of every item or object that you put in the game here, any objectives, any respawn points, traps, anything. They're all in there. If you click on the layout, you can see that the screen had changed, and it deals specifically with the high-level items. So rooms, mobs themselves for... okay, we won't get into that because there's a lot more information there, but it gives you high-level layout options that you can use. Down here in the bottom left, you see the budgets. You cannot go over them, those numbers. So you see I have 122 detail objects in there, and I'm allowed 1,000. If you go over them, you will not be able to publish your quest. All right, so just keep that in mind. Let's see, what do we got? You can edit the backdrop, how the background looks. You can change all of this here, and that's in game. All right. The component tree, I use this a lot myself, because when the map gets pretty busy and you're looking for a specific thing and you have items on top of items, like in one particular case in this map, I have a candle that's on top of a book, that's on top of a table, and on top of all of that I have a light source. So for me to find that or to click on it to use it, sometimes it's a little difficult, and it makes it hard to find them. So what you do is you can click on, you can type in partial words here, search for it, and you can click on it, and it actually takes you right down to the object itself, so you can manipulate it or change it or whatever you need to do. All right. You can view the mission waypoints. Some people turn all these 3 on, some people don't. We'll get into more details. This here is a snap to grid, line things up. You can rotate the snap to angle. It gets pretty detailed. You can play the map from the start point, and the start point is where the player spawns. All right? And you can duplicate the map, and you can delete the map. All right, so that takes care of all that. And in here, the asset library. This is the meat and potatoes of getting the objects in the game. Again, we'll go through each one of these in detail. You got special, detail, teleporters, encounters, any type of encounters, different types of rooms, traps, and particular NPCs. And you can make your own NPCs. It's really well done. And down here in the bottom is unplaced components. If you're working on your map, sometimes you move things around or you change things, and any components that you use that were are not associated with something or need to be associated with something, they'll be placed here, and then you can replace them on your map. All right? You see here a patrol that's set up. Again, we'll go into more detail on that later. Also, I should mention that on every tab, right down on the bottom here, is the chat button. All right, and you can chat away to people that are working on in the Foundry at the same time. Okay, and we all right now use the Foundry channel, and you may have to join that channel when you start up for the first time. If you want to leave the channel or join the channel, so if you hit join channel and then channel create and just type in Foundry there. All right. Any friends that you have on your list, you can put them there. If you want to add a friend, type in their handle there and then add friend. And that's it. So, dialogue tabs, or dialogue trees, excuse me. Up here shows you a list of all your dialogues that you have in your quest. You can select the one that you want to work on. It'll bring it up here, and you can go ahead and work on it there. And then it actually should have went back, sorry. Your dialogue trees. This here is actually where it shows up in your storyline. So if you want to go to your storyline, where is it in the storyline that I'm working on? It'll show you exactly where it is. And again, we'll go through all these later. This is just a general overview. So the dialogue trees allow you to set up a conversation between you and the NPC or other objects. Again, it starts here. You can create the dialogue, and you can have it branch off, so it's not linear, meaning one follows right after another. You have no choice on what you can say or do. In this particular case, you can see here I have two options, and he asked me did I find his coffer, and I say I did, blah blah blah, or not yet but soon. And then you can add responses here. In this particular case, when I said not yet, he says, well, what are you waiting for? And then the dialogue ends. And this one here, I say yes, it checks to see. This doesn't check to see. Well, it does. My mistake. So it just continues on the story quest. And again, I'll get into more details with that later on. You can actually play this dialogue in the tavern. And what it'll show you here is just a generic place. Here I am in game. And again, press F to contact. Now, this isn't the person that you'll be talking to. It's just a general person that you use to test your dialogues against. So this is a person's name that you're talking to. And this is out of character text color. Did you find my coffer? and here it checks to see if I have his coffer. If I don't, then you do not have this skill. Hopefully that'll be changed to say you do not have the proper item or whatever to continue this conversation. It's grayed out. I can't select it. Not yet, but soon. Well, what are you waiting for? Get to it. Continue. And that's the end of it. That's how easy that is. And that's that whole dialogue. Pretty easy. It's real easy. So yes, it did check if I had the object. I didn't have the object, so this is the only one that I could select. And that's it. Costumes. This is, you can spend a lot of time in here. I know I did. Any custom characters that you make, it'll keep a list of them here for that quest. And you can create a new quest here, or costume here. And you can rename the contact and any links for where they are in the game or in your maps. So it'll show you where they are in your maps for the custom ones that you've made. Again, properties, you can go to advanced mode. There's a lot more. Well, you can see here it has a lot more options, and the editor will no longer ensure that your costumes look good. So if you want full control, you want to go to the advanced mode. You may create costumes with seams or holes. Are you sure you want to switch to the advanced mode? You can do that. I do when I'm looking to change specifics. Anyways, you can change here to preset to what it looked like before. The stance. You can change the different stances, how tall the NPC is, or that costume is. The slots, head, upper body, lower body, you can change it all. All right. You can duplicate your current selected costume. You like the one that you made earlier and you want to change some things on it, you can create it, or duplicate it, and then change those items. It's really easy. The whole thing is really easy. All right, items. Items that you use in your quest will be created here. Dirt simple. We'll get into those. All it is you change the picture, you give it a name and a description, and that's it. And then you use it in your game. You can sort it by name, by icon. Says I'm over budget. All right, and that is the general overview. Again, if you have any questions, don't forget to ask them on my website. And yeah, later we'll go into specifics again. And thank you for your time.